Hey guys, Cam Free 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Oshi No Ko Season 2 episode review as we continue on. I know I missed the last 2 weeks, especially last week, but I'm here to catch up. And yes, I liked both episodes. I still prefer the episode 2 weeks ago before the Melt episode, but the Melt episode was great. The Melt episode was amazing in terms of just his development as an actor and overcoming the weaknesses that he has in his game. And I'll talk about that in a quick second. But I want to talk about last week's episode because last week's episode had a lot of freaking insane shit that happened in that episode. I just want to talk about some like the lighthearted moments. Also, too, the reason why I'm so upset I didn't get an episode review up of the episode of last 2 weeks episode, which I think is episode 5 of season 2. I was upset because when they at the end of the episode when they were doing the play, I was so hyped going into it. And I'm just like, okay, I'm very excited to see what Aqua does. Now obviously I'm guessing we'll see what he does next week or this upcoming Wednesday. But it's absolutely freaking just crazy that you see this man still hasn't gotten over his mom's death, really, I Hoshino's death. Like, he's still in the waiting room in his full costume, still getting sick to his stomach about this. So he talks about how he's going to use this as a motivator for him and everything. So that's the thing. But I know that whole situation was leading up into the thing. I thought the funny moment was the fact that you have it to where Kana was kind of teasing Akane about, oh well, look at this report, it says you very much looked up to me and everything, because we know Akane and Kana have like this weird beef with each other. Well, I wouldn't say weird beef, but they have this beef with each other because of their acting, and then also too the fact like it's clearly obvious that they both really like Aqua more than anything. We know she simps for Aqua. And Akane, even though she quote unquote is freaking Aqua's boyfriend, they're not really dating. They're just dating for professional, reasons and everything. But you can see like, okay, Akane more than likely wants to actually be his actual boyfriend. I mean, not actual boyfriend, his actual girlfriend for everything that he's done for her up until this point, like damn near save her life, which I'm actually gonna probably find time in my schedule to rewatch all of season 1 again. I know it's gonna be the English dub version. I know people hate the English dub version of Oshi No Ko, but I want to listen to it, and I want to hear it. But that was a funny scene. They're going back and forth to the point like legitimately you have to have like Aqua and then some other dude. I think it was Melt that actually had to like hold Akane and Aqua back because those girls were about to like start scrapping with each other. I don't give a crap. They absolutely hate each other with a burning passion. They hate each other. And I love it. Listen, I'm here for a cat fight. I am here. Kana don't like Akane because she's still in what she would deem as her man in Aqua. And then Akane really, even though you can say she looks up to Aqua, I mean, not Aqua, Kana in terms of her acting prowess, she wants to stand alone and be her own actor, and she wants to also show up, Kana by saying like, well, this is my man too, so you ain't getting him. But you get some very interesting stuff. I think like two of the most interesting things in this week's episode was the fact that you get it to where Aqua confesses and tells Akane like, hey, what if I told you that this whole goal of me getting into acting is to get so famous so then I can raise my ranks up in the freaking acting world and get close to somebody that's high up in the chain so I can kill them, which he's referring to his dad. He doesn't identify as dad, more than likely. He doesn't tell Akane like, yeah, my mother was Ai Hoshino and then my father apparently was the one that killed her, right? Even though Akane knows more than likely that, okay, Ruby and Aqua are related to Ai Hoshino. But he goes on to strictly say that, and he thinks like, okay, it's probably going to turn her off and scare her, where she's going to be like, oh, what the heck is wrong with you or something. You would think. And then Akane just looks at him and she's like, and she gets these pale eyes and she's like, then I would say I would help you out with that situation too. And when I heard her say that, mind you, I was like driving. Well, I won't say I was driving to work and watching Oshi No Ko, but on the way to work, I guess you can say, before my work shift started, I was watching Oshi No Ko, this episode. And when this girl said, "Then I'll just help you out with that thing," I'm just like, oh my! I'm like, this girl is crazy. Akane is legitimately like, okay, cool. I'll kill this dude with you then. I'll be right by your side. Now, maybe she's saying that so maybe in a weird way it can get Aqua to maybe be like, oh, really cool. And then maybe she's as in her own mind, maybe this can lead to a potential relationship, serious relationship between me and Aqua. But listen, all I'm gonna say is this. Now, I have no aspirations of wanting to kill somebody, and nor do I think it's right to kill somebody over even some of the most pettiest things. Because what Aqua is, he's just trying to get revenge, regardless. But look, if another girl says she's willing to do something devious alongside me, even if it's gonna get her into trouble, I don't give a shit, man. That's a ride or die. That is a ride or die. And legitimately, when I heard her say that, I'm like, look, I like Kana and Aqua's relationship. At some point, whenever the truth comes out between Aqua and Ruby about the fact that Aqua is the doctor and Ruby is the child, and they figure out their real identities, the real past lives of who they really were, you already know Ruby's gonna be gunning for Aqua's what, because she's gonna be wanting the doctor so bad, because she's gonna be like, well, I'm a famous idol, and you promised me in our past lives that you said you would marry me if I became a famous idol or something like that. And you already know if Ruby and Aqua find out about each other, mostly Ruby, probably not Aqua. We don't know, but mostly Ruby, we could probably tell she might be a little thirsty for some Aqua, and we potentially be getting some Wincest coming up. If that truth ends up coming out, which I believe at some point the truth is gonna come out. So legitimately, we already know like the three potential love interests are Akane, Kana, and Ruby. And as much as people don't like the fact that okay, we might be getting Wincest at the end of this series potentially, because I don't know if Oshi No Ko has concluded. I think it's still ongoing. But holy hell, man. I already know, I could see it now. If this continues, if this gets a full adaptation and we ever see an arc where it's dealing about Ruby and Aqua's maybe potential feelings for each other, or the fact that Ruby knows that Aqua is the doctor from her past life and she wants to get with him, and she wants to be more than just brother and sister. She legitimately wants to be boyfriend, girlfriend, and potentially husband, wife with this guy. Yeah, I can already see it now. Why would Japan, why would anime do this? It's so disgusting, because people are nowadays woke. Again, like I said, I'm not condemning a relationship between brother and sister. I don't think that's acceptable. But we know in Japan standards, I'm not saying that's common occurrence, but holy hell, man. They always like to tease the Wincest angle in terms of brother and sisters always hooking up with one another, right? I don't know. It's an author's thing. It's these authors' things in these mangas and everything. It's always like you got maybe the main romance character, and then you got typically a sister, and usually the sister is always paired up in the potential romance angle, which leads to a potential option of, well, maybe the sister wins and you get a Wincest, ending. Again, I think the only series that I think I know has gone that direction in a weird way was Domestic Girlfriend. With Hina, and I forgot the main guy's name because they were like step siblings, and by the end of the series, spoilers if you haven't seen Domestic Girlfriend, they ended up eventually being a married couple. But yeah, that's the thing. Now, we'll see. The only thing that's going up against Akane is she got blue hair. And if you have some romance, usually the blue hair girls don't win. Now I'm watching Makane, Too Many Losing Too Many Losing Heroines. So, and right now Ana Yamai, I might need to do a review about that show, because that show is really damn good. Honestly, I might need to start doing a review because I've been sleeping on that show. Anna Yamai in that show, she's a blue-haired girl, and it looks like she potentially might be in the lead for winning that show or that series in terms of getting, dating our main male character. Anyways. I'm getting off topic. Now that will probably be a video for another day because I do want to talk about that show at some point. You get that one, but I saw that one. I'm like, okay, this girl is absolutely ride or die. I'm just like, no, I'm like, I'd marry this girl in a heartbeat. See, if a girl told me that to my face and she'd be like, oh no, I'll be right by your side, even if it has to kill somebody, I would have been like, I would have been on my knees. I'm like, well, then why don't you marry me right now and we can do this together? Aqua kind of plays it off. He's like, there's no way you would do something like that. And Akane is just like, well, you must have your reasons, so I'm not gonna judge you for it. But if you need somebody to help, I'm here. So that you have that and everything. So that was crazy within itself to hear that whole thing about her saying all that crap. I'm just like, this girl is absolutely wild. She really I'm like, either one or two things. She just willing to use Aqua for her own goals, or two, one, obviously, maybe number one, she wants to date Aqua seriously, and she probably want Aqua D. That's probably what she wants. She probably wants to be pegged, I guess. I don't blame her. He's a good-looking dude, no diddy. He's a good-looking dude. And for her, it makes sense. Like, she wants to actually be more than just working boyfriend and girlfriend. She wants to actually be legitimately his boyfriend or his girlfriend because of everything, like I said, he did for her in season 1. And then last thing I want to kind of talk about, we do see Ruby in this episode. She stops by the place they always been acting at for their play, and Melt comes out and he's like, hey, where's my brother and everything? And Melt's just like, look, I don't know where he's at. All I know is that like her, that Aqua and Akane, they always walk out together and everything. And they're always gone, they always leave together. And you have Ruby's friend, the pink-haired girl, she ends up talking about like, well, it makes sense, they are boyfriend and girlfriend. And she then suggests, because the thing is, Ruby's like, well, okay, yeah, I figured that, but like he's always coming home super late at night, and I'm getting really worried about him and everything. Obviously as a sister should. And then the sister's just like, well, no, maybe he's doing that stuff. And Ruby's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, maybe she's doing sexy stuff. And maybe, the friend's like, well, look, he got a hot girlfriend. Honestly, could you blame him for doing that stuff? And then you just see this flip switch in Ruby. And she's just like, if my brother... I don't believe my brother would actually try to get a high school girl pregnant. And she legitimately is like, and if he did, and if he is doing that, I would despise him. And she has that like look in her eye where you, like with Aqua, you see the black star in his eye. She gets that look, and you're just like, oh. So, Aqua better not do something that might piss Ruby off. And she was very pissed off because eventually she's like, well, I highly doubt my brother would do something like that anyways. He's always secretive and he keeps to himself anyways. So he probably wouldn't do any of that stuff, right? And then it just leads into the scene when she's walking in. She's like, actually, I need to go use the restroom for a second. And then she walks in to go use the restroom. And her friend catches a glimpse of her look and she just looks pissed. Like as if maybe she's starting to think, what if my brother is doing this? And she just looks absolutely heated. Now, again, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, is she pissed off because she might potentially have feelings for her brother? I don't know, but she would figure that Aqua, she's known Aqua all her life, and she knows, okay, he ain't that type of guy. He keeps to himself. He's kind of much of a loner, and I usually help him every now and then. But, it's kind of, you can kind of feel like, okay, she would visibly be pissed off if she found out like her brother was doing this stuff, because obviously I guess you can say she could translate it to what happened with I got pregnant early on in her life, and she had kids, and in a weird way that ended up backfiring on her, and she ended up dying. And maybe Ruby's having some PTSD from that, of the fact like, okay, what if Aqua is gonna just get a high school girl pregnant and just do this because, oh well, mom had us as when she was in high school tech. She was basically a high school student, and what is she gonna do the same thing? Maybe she's getting flashbacks because of that. But when you saw that look on her eyes, the fact that she said she would despise her own brother if he were to do that, which honestly, it could make sense. In Japanese culture, something like that might probably be very despicable. But the fact, like, okay, knowing that my brother might be doing this, I would hate him for it, which would be crazy. But you see that look, and you have it where that green-haired individual tried to hit on Aqua's not Aqua's Ruby's friend, the pink-haired girl, just because she was thick, and she's like, oh, she had a good bust size and everything. But Melt was being the honorable guy, be like, look, that's Ruby's sister's friend. I don't think that's cool. And then obviously, he's like, wait, that's Ruby's sister. And then I think at some point, I think he ends up actually seeing Ruby's sister, and I think he actually calls Ruby's sister like pretty damn attractive or something. And we apparently find out like Ruby ended up getting this dude's number, but Kana's like, no, you are not getting that guy's number. So I don't know if that's gonna lead into some scene to where maybe Ruby has her own issues with potential guys. And maybe that's something that Aquas might have to look out for. Maybe that's a storyline in the future to where you have this guy maybe moving on from the pink-haired friend and maybe trying to hit up on Ruby and maybe trying to take advantage of her. And Aqua might have to find a way to step in and maybe potentially harm this dude to be like, stay away from my damn sister. Because we know Aqua, he said he ain't letting no guy do what happened to happen to his sister, which makes sense. Which then leads into the next episode, I believe episode 6. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. And you get the episode focused around Melt, and this episode was really well done. And we know throughout the course of the time we've known Melt, he wasn't good. He's not a good actor, and everything, and he isn't good at it. But one, can I just also say this? The visuals of the play and everything, the way they had it structured and the way they made it look, it was so visually stunningly beautiful. It was great. And it's like, if this is how they actually do it, like these type of plays in Japan, holy shit, I need to actually find time in my lifetime to go to Japan and actually see a play like this. Because if plays are actually handled by this, I would be willing to sit down and watch shit like this. Because this shit looked like it was like, it's like in a movie theater. You have like the movie theater like type of budget types of stuff and everything. And then at the same time, it's just like a regular like act play and everything, which I'm just like, my God, one of my bucket list things to do in my lifetime before I ever croak, is to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan. And like, if there was somebody to offer me a trip to go to Japan, I would go to Japan. Legitimately, I would honestly bring my co-host, the Red Wolf, my friend Denzel, and we would be going to Japan together. Like, I legitimately would love to go to Japan and see what it's like and everything. That's obviously a lot of money that has to be spent and things like that. But I would enjoy going to Japan and not living in Japan, but going to Japan and for a vacation or something. So that's the thing right then and there. But everything was visually stunning. Like, you get the scene with Kana and her character. That was a great moment. And you see like, okay, that they're using like the hooks and everything to make her look like she's jumping up high and flying and everything. That was so cool. And then you focus on Melt and the fact like we know he isn't a good actor, and you see how like some people in the crowd, they talk about like, he ain't that freaking good and everything. He's actually like kind of mid and stuff like that, But then eventually, like, he flashes back to a moment where I guess he had to talk with Aqua recently, and Aqua just says like, look, who the fuck cares if you're bad? Embrace it. People think you're terrible, so what? Take what they think is terrible and work and freaking just continue to use it and make it your own thing. And he does make it his own thing, and it enhances his performance in the play, which shocks the green, because he's fighting the guy with the green hair, right, in the scene, right, and it shocks him and everything. And because of him stepping his game up and just taking what Aqua told him, use that weakness and just use it as your own gain and use it as like a way to stick it to the crowd, saying like, well, yeah, I'm a bad actor, but who cares? I'm gonna do what I need to do. to get my point across. And he actually enhanced his performance to the point like people legitimately are like, whoa, he's actually pretty damn good. What the heck am I seeing? It's kind of like modern day culture and everything, where it's like people think a movie or a show isn't as good as what people say, and then they just go on with what the flow with what others say. And then next thing you know, you may watch it and might give it a second chance of watch, but then you end up actually saying, like, you know what, it actually ain't that bad. So I don't know why people are saying like it's that bad. It's actually pretty, it's not good, it's not the best, but it's passable. So that's the thing right then and there. So yeah, you get an amazing moment with Melt and everything, and in terms of his acting, and it seems like he's gonna take the next step in his acting career, and it was just great to watch. Just great to watch. Two great back-to-back episodes of Oshi No Ko. Definitely looking forward to seeing what this week's episode is gonna offer. I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be an Aqua focus on his scenes and everything. So we'll see, but we will see. Will Aqua break down and throw up mid performance? We'll just see. But anyways, yeah. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on the last 2 weeks episodes of Oshi No Ko, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Oshi No content. Again, I apologize for the late episode reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, hit that subscribe button if you want more Oshi No Ko content, or any other anime episodes or series, or even video game playthroughs I'm doing now on the channel. Up there. So until then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day or night. Till then, guys, peace.